Elias Rowan had chosen the mountains for one reason: silence. After years working as a deep space communications technician, jumping between orbital towers, signal buoys, and research satellites, he thought the quiet would feel like a warm blanket. Instead, the isolation of the old hunting cabin felt like a missing heartbeat. Every night the stillness pressed against his ears, too empty, too wide. But repairing old gadgets helped. That was the one thing that had always grounded him. So when he found the battered shortwave radio among a pile of abandoned junk in the cabin's storage room, he felt an unexpected flicker of purpose. Dusty, dented, half-rusted. Yet familiar. Something he could fix. The cabin was small. One room, a stove, creaking wood floors, and windows that whistled on windy nights. No neighbors for miles. No transmissions. No noise. Just him and the broken radio. At first the device didn't even power up. He replaced its corroded wiring using spare copper coils. Rebuilt the internal tuner. Reattached the antenna with improvised clamps. It took 3 evenings of careful work. 3 nights of silence broken only by the crackle of the fireplace. On the 4th night, when he finally reconnected the last circuit, the radio sputtered to life. Static. Harsh, icy, but alive. Elias leaned closer, twisting the knob. The static shifted. Patterns flickered inside it like faint whispers. He frowned. These mountains were far off established communication paths. No stations reached this altitude. He adjusted again. Static. Then a sound beneath it. A rhythm. A voice-shaped ripple. Elias froze. The radio crackled once, twice. And then a soft, breathy voice slipped through the speaker. Hello. C. Can you hear me? He blinked hard. There shouldn't have been anything. Not this remote. Not on an antique radio with no modern range. And definitely not a human voice traveling on a frequency that old. He turned the dial slowly. Hello, he answered, unsure why he felt nervous. This is Elias Rowan. Who is this? A long static-filled pause. Then the voice returned. Clearer, fragile, almost melodic. I don't know how long this connection will hold. Please. Don't adjust the frequency again. He froze, hand hovering over the dial. All right, he said quietly. I won't touch it. Are you in trouble? What's your name? Another crackle. My designation is Leary. Yes. I believe I am in danger. Elias sat back slowly, tension crawling up his spine. That wasn't a human name. Or even close. He checked the radio wiring again. Nothing unusual. No hidden transceiver, no military link, no sign of digital interference. Leary, he said carefully. Where are you transmitting from? I am unsure. My vessel's coordinates are unreadable. Damage, extensive. A chill crept through him. She wasn't describing a place. She was describing a spacecraft. Your vessel, Elias repeated. Yes, she answered softly. You are human, correct? He swallowed. How do you know that? Because your voice patterns match the human archive. The human archive. The words landed like stones. His hand trembled slightly over the wooden table. Leary, he asked, barely a whisper. Are you human? Silence. Then gently. No, I am not. The cabin seemed to shrink around him. Faraway wind pressed against the windows. He worked in communications. He'd studied extraterrestrial detection theories. He knew signals behaved in specific ways, and this wasn't any of them. The timbre of her voice was too clear, too resonant, like someone speaking inches from the microphone. "Why are you contacting me?" Elias finally asked. "Because you responded." The simplicity of the answer shook him. He exhaled shakily. "Are you alone?" "Yes. My crew is gone." The heaviness in her voice wasn't mechanical. It wasn't even neutral. It was grief. "Leary, what happened to your ship?" The radio hissed, not with static, but with something like a shuddered breath. An impact. An explosion. Darkness. I woke adrift. Systems failing. Air thinning. Her voice trembled. "I did not expect to speak with anyone again." Elias pressed his palm against the wood of the table, grounding himself. "Can you send a location? Anything. I might be able to pick up coordinates." "I can try, but your technology may not decipher our format." "Try anyway." For a long moment, the only sound was the cold whisper of the radio. Transmitting now." The radio lights flickered violently. Cabin dimmed. Elias jerked back as the frequency display shifted through symbols he didn't recognize, geometric patterns glowing faintly. Then everything steadied. "Did it work?" Leary asked. He stared at the panel in disbelief. "Yes," he whispered. "But these coordinates, they're impossible." "Describe them." He swallowed. "They're not in Earth format. They're spatial curvature indicators." Soft exhale. "Then you are close." "Close," Elias repeated sharply. "Leary, these readings aren't for anything near Earth's orbit. They're somewhere else entirely." "My vessel is not in your orbit," she said quietly. But the signal slipped through. He blinked. Slipped through what? A tear. The static trembled. A fracture in space. Temporary. Fading. But wide enough for communication. Elias felt the air drain from his lungs. "Leary, are you saying you're in another dimension?" "Your word for it is close enough." A long, heavy pause settled between them. Finally he spoke. "Are you dying?" The answer came softly. "Yes." Something ached inside him. Sudden, sharp, irrational. "How long do you have?" "Not long in your measurement," she said. "I contacted the frequency with the highest probability of reaching anyone." "You reached me," Elias said quietly. "Yes," she whispered. "And for that, I am grateful." The connection deepens. For the next hour Elias and Leary spoke, carefully, cautiously, the way two strangers crossing a cosmic bridge might. She told him her people existed parallel to humanity, separated by dimensional folds. Their technology didn't travel through normal space but through patterned energy corridors. Her ship had been exploring an unstable corridor when it collapsed violently. "Is there any way to help you?" he asked. Soft hum. "Your world cannot reach mine. The fracture is too unstable. Even I cannot see its origin. But if it stays open..." "It will not," she said gently. "And when it closes, this connection ends." Her acceptance cut deeper than her situation. Elias shoved his chair back. "No. There's got to be something." Silence. "Why do you concern yourself with a stranger, Elias Rowan?" He hesitated. "I've spent years listening to signals," he said. "But you're the first voice that ever felt alive. Real. Like it reached back." Leary didn't respond at first. "Humans," she murmured. "Your empathy is remarkable." He laughed under his breath. "Sometimes it hurts." "I understand," she said quietly. For a moment they simply breathed, separated by universes yet sharing the same small space through the radio's hum. "What do you look like?" Elias asked, gently unsure. Leary gave a soft, amused sound. Curious human. It helps me picture who I'm trying to save. Oz. We are humanoid. Taller on average. Luminescent markings along the skin. They shift with emotion. My eyes are blue with silver rings. He found himself smiling. That sounds beautiful. Beauty, she whispered, is subjective. But your voice is steady, warm. His chest tightened unexpectedly. And you? What do humans look like? She asked.